morning. Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Internet Dad Show. I'm JJ, that's Deacon, and we are here to talk about stuff.
We're having sound problems this morning, as you can tell. JJ's just a little bit lower than normal, and it's Windows. Windows just decides to do things with sound. I battle it every day with it just deciding to turn my volume of this microphone down, and we just witnessed it do it in real time. And JJ's got this
little mute button right here, and Windows just decides, like, I'm just going to
turn it on.
You'll never find it.
Yeah. And you see where it's at, System Sounds Properties, and it's this special little thing, this external device that he's bought for the show to do their songs and our stuff, and it just decides to mute it. Just mute it.
Yeah.
Why not?
And it's like a secret mute button that you'll never find.
That you'll never find. It's like trying to unsubscribe from somewhere. You got to click 78 places and then walk to France and bring back a golden nugget.
Sorry, we're late again. You know what I would love, Internet? I would love it if you guys would subscribe or follow and then send me a message on the video or on anywhere and just tell me how shitty I am on time. Bust my balls. And I will forward that to Windows and be like, yo, Windows. Yeah. All right. Good morning, folks. We got some stuff to talk about. I don't know if we're going to talk about wacky stuff. I don't know what we're going to talk about. There's been things happening over the weekend.
I know. And we don't have a lot
we don't have a lot prepared, but we'll find some stuff.
Sure. Because everything's going crazy.
Well, actually, we ran super long last week talking about starting to talk about timeline stuff. So maybe we'll talk about time. But okay, so we got a couple of things that we're going to talk about this morning. One point being the Trump border czar, and we know who that's going to be, and another being, but probably a bigger and more important and developing story right now is the selection of the Senate Majority Leader, which seems to be maybe not the last stand of the deep state rhinos, but it is certainly the next stand. So we can talk about that for a second. I know that's very exciting. Imagine if you need a mental picture of it, imagine Emperor Palpatine before he's Emperor Palpatine. He's Senator Palpatine, right?
Senator Palpatine. Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yeah. And he subverts the entire galactic order by becoming, chancellor. So it's like that, except instead of being a charismatic character of Palpatine, it's like a stuffed suit that hates America and hates you.
I still really, really love the theory that Jar Jar Binks was working for the Sith, that he was really a Sith master, and that he portrayed this stupid character to completely fool everyone. But he's the one that, through his stupid antics, got put into the position in order to be the one to give him supreme power.
Yeah. And that's an idea. How about this guy?
That's an idea. That's good.
How about this is an idea? Jar Jar Binks was a secret insert by a Disney insider before Star Wars was sold to Disney to drive down the value of Star Wars so that they could scoop it up on a deal for $4 billion.
I'll tell you what Jar Jar Binks was, and this is exactly what he was in those movies. He was the comedic relief that C-3PO was in the other movies. They had to have, in order to write a story, you had your hero, you've got your anti-hero, you've got your princess, you've got your sidekicks, you've got all these ancillary people. You've got to have a comedic relief. The Goonies, The Mouth. Look at every one of these big groups, especially a Steven Spielberg, George Lucas movie. They've always got specific character archetypes that they fit. And Jar Jar Binks was the comedic relief. It just didn't go over well, and I feel terrible how the fans treated old what's his name, the voice actor guy. I mean, can you imagine as a voice actor and somebody told me, dude, they're redoing the first 3 Star Wars and they want you to be a part that's going to be a pretty major part. Oh my God, really?
Sure.
And they want you to be this alien with the voice. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I got to practice this all the time. And then he gets that part, and people make.
He's like, yeah.
He wanted to kill himself after that. Did you know that?
Misa wanna be a movie star. Bro, are you sure you want me to do this voice? Because this sounds kind of weird in my head.
as long as you sign the paychecks, I will do whatever you want. That sounds more like a Mario Jar Jar Binks.
Just won my SAG card.
That's an Italian Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Jar Jar Mario Brothers.
All right. Look, because really, Do Good for real. I'm not a moderator, so I can't press the thing up on the screen. But Do Good said that he didn't watch any of the movies after episode 1 because he hated Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks' character was, and if you watch the other movies, you see how he did. He manipulated. He's the reason Palpatine got power. He's the reason.
Did he really? Was he casting the deciding vote on who gets to be the?
Oh, do you remember? Padme had to go do something, or she was somewhere, and she gave him her because he was like a representative of Naboo along with her.
Yeah,
lower than her, and she had to go somewhere, so she left him in charge. She's like, do this, and then they're up there, and he's wanting supreme power, and nobody will give it to him, and blah blah blah, and he's from Naboo. And Jar Jar and them's from Naboo, and he sits there in that scene, and he's like, what would Padme do? What would Padme do? Padme would do this. I nominate blah, blah, blah. And he's the one that started it all.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
The thing I noticed during, especially during The Phantom Menace, is that George Clooney's conceptualization of
George Lucas,
not George Clooney, George Lucas. Pardon me. George Lucas's conceptualization of how politics works is imbecilic. It is totally stupid. A 16-year-old girl is the elected queen, and then she gets promoted from queen to a senator. No, that doesn't make any sense, dude. That's not how anything works. That's not how anything works. and no.
How did we get talking about Star Wars?
I don't. Well, senators. Okay, well, let's talk about senator stuff. So
I'm gonna say it's really not far off from what's going on in America. Jeez, the empire.
No. So there is a war brewing. Okay, so where are we at right now? Last week, America was like, America, fuck yeah, Trump, Trump presidency, Trump Senate, Trump Republicans, Trump popular vote, Trump everything, fuck all the rest of this, Trump. And so Donald Trump wins. An incredible mandate. He's ready to go. He's locking in his cabinet right now. And now understand, the election was Tuesday. That stuff's got to get confirmed by all the states. And then they will send their their newly minted Republican congressmen and senators to Congress in January, and we will have a new Republican government. But between then and now, we have a few weeks or a couple of months where the old guard, the ones that lost, have still got power. Your boy, Mitch McConnell, was like, I think I'm going to step down as Senate Majority Leader.
He's only 107 years old.
Right. Yeah, he couldn't have done this before the election, right? So, or at the end of his term. No, he's doing it a month before Donald Trump takes power and is sworn in. So your boy Mitch McConnell is orchestrating a coup, a little coup. See, Mitch McConnell as he steps down now, he can force the Senate to vote on a new majority leader. And then the new majority leader will have the ability to set the legislative agenda for the Senate. And instead of letting the incoming Trump senators make that decision, he's trying to let it happen right now. So
he's not. Mitch McConnell, I don't believe it would do anything. He's definitely setting up chess pieces. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I would do that too. To give you've been, I have said this. I have said this for a long time. I have said this for a long time. When people are like back in the Bush era, I was saying this. All right, and they're like, "Oh, the blah blah blah." And I'm like, the most powerful person, one of the most powerful people in our country, is not the president. It's Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell has been in there so long. He has made so many enemies and friends. He is one of the most powerful people and has been for decades in this country. And you don't think that either side, either way, it doesn't matter what side they are on. Someone that's had that much power for that long is not going to let just somebody else pick whoever the hell is going to take his place.
You're
He's
right.
going to move the pieces in the exact order in order to capture and kill the king and put his person into place.
Okay, but
You
who's
can't
the king?
blame the guy for that.
No, hold on. So I look. Mitch
I'm not
McConnell
trying to
is
defend Mitch
McConnell.
McConnell because he's a
Sure.
bastard,
No,
but he's
right.
done some good
But
things for Western Kentucky.
You're saying he's being a rational actor by trying to leverage whatever power he has for whatever ends he wants. Okay. Are those
Just like
ends the same
would.
ends as the American people? Just
I
like
hope.
a woman would?
I hope.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so because we can't really see the lever that Mitch McConnell has is when he resigns and steps down and forces the vote. And the vote's going to be next Wednesday. So that was the lever that he has. And then after that, the power's going to shift around or whatever. So here's a story. Let me pull this up. Let me pull up some newsinformation here. Come on. Start screen sharing. Trump weighs in on Senate majority leadership race, says they must agree to recess appointments so he can fill a cabinet without delays. This is what Trump says on the Senate majority leader. So who we have here on screen is Donald Trump giving his opinion. Oh, you don't see the screen.
No, I don't.
Screen share. There you go. Donald Trump giving his opinion on the three candidates in the race. The first candidate is Rick Scott from Florida. Now, Rick Scott is the nominee that is essentially the America First MAGA representative. He's also got the least vote share in the current internal polling in the Senate. The second one is Cornyn, Senator Cornyn from Texas. Senator Cornyn from Texas is my senator. He's also a total piece of shit. I don't want Cornyn to be Senate Majority Leader.
Oh, really?
You don't want
guy in the middle
to be Senate. Yeah, this guy right here, no bueno. That's a bad dude right there. That guy is the guy that's willing to, take away your Second Amendment gun rights.
It's usually those guys that have that sweet old grandpa face that looks like they're the sweetest guys in the world. They're the true bastards in this world.
Yep. And this here is Senator Thune. Senator Thune is
last guy on the far right.
I believe he might be even worse. I'm not sure. President-elect Donald Trump has weighed in the ongoing race for the Senate GOP leadership, emphasizing that any candidate seeking the role must commit to supporting recess appointments in the Senate. Now, this is Trump's way of signaling to the Senate and to MAGA, like, you don't pick Cornyn and don't pick Thune. Here's his tweet or X post or whatever. Any Republican.
Hang on. The recess appointments clause authorizing the president to make temporary appointments when the Senate is not in session. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know what that was.
Any Republican senator seeking a cabinet leader.
I guess it says it in the
those are appointments that happen outside of whenever the Senate is not there to confirm. So judges are seated based on presidential nomination and the Senate advising consent. That is, they go over the candidates and then they vote to approve or disapprove, right? And when Senate's not in session, then the president is allowed to seat judges however he sees fit. And then they eventually come back up for renewal. This is sometimes the votes can take 2 years or more. This is what they did 4 years ago. We cannot let it happen again. We need positions filled right now. Additionally, no judges should be approved during this period because of the time that Democrats are looking to ram through their judges as Republicans fight over leadership. This is not acceptable. Thank you. And he's got the Elon Musk seal of approval there. Trump's comments come as the Senate GOP is preparing to elect a new leader following Mitch McConnell's decision to step down at the end of the year. Contenders for the role include Senate Majority Whip John Thune of South Dakota, Texas Senator John Cornyn, and Florida Senator Rick Scott. Trump has not publicly endorsed any specific candidate for the position, but his comments on it are a clear signal against some of the candidates there. I had some relevant tweets and some little video clips that I was going to pull up. I think I put them in Discord. Let me see if I put them in Discord.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I think he's definitely putting whoever he puts in is going to be another marionette. Okay. He's not just going to go to his cabin and on Kentucky Lake and fish for until his end of his days.
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell. You think he's just going to go off to Avalon and completely disappear forever? No, he's going to be controlling things until the day he dies. And so he's going to put someone in there that you can puppet around and you can push around. You think they're going to put somebody? They're definitely going to put somebody in there that they can push around and control.
Am I mistaken or am I correct? Because my memory seems to indicate that Mitch McConnell is married to someone that has Chinese ties.
Yeah. She didn't they own the Heinz company?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about Mitch McConnell, other than Turtle has been,
Oh no, Elaine Chao. American businesswoman, former government official who served as the United States Secretary of Labor in the administration of George W. Bush from 2001 to 2009, Secretary of Transportation administration from Trump from 2017 to 2021, a member of the Republican Party. She's the first Asian American woman to serve in a presidential cabinet. She resigned as transportation secretary after January 6th. She was born in Taipei, Taiwan, who fled to China as a result of the Chinese Civil War. She immigrated to the United States when she was 8 years old. But she had she owned no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Who was the other one? Was it John Kerry's wife that had the Heinz crap?
That sounds right. Yeah, John Kerry's wife sounds like Heinz. Here's
it was Teresa Heinz. Yeah, I got them mixed up. Yeah, so Elaine Chao, she's a very influential person. Very influential person, as you can tell.
Here is Senator Thune, who's one of the three candidates for the House majority. Here you go. This is his comment. This is an old clip, but this is relevant because this is
let me ask you before we go ever so briefly to summarize Capitol Hill response, so far as you've been able to gather it, to the civil verdict in Manhattan today against former President Trump.
Two reactions worth noting from Senate Republican leadership. John Cornyn of Texas told CBS News he simply doesn't think Donald Trump can get elected president. Quite a statement from Senate.
That's one of the people that's running for Senate Majority Leader. John Cornyn said, Trump can't be president.
Senator Cornyn. John Thune of South Dakota says America is going to have to decide whether it wants to deal with, quote, all the drama after this verdict.
Boy, that seems like two guys that are not on Team Trump to me. If you're asking me, that's what I'm saying. Okay. So now my favorite plan is not even Rick Scott. My favorite plan has been floated by Charlie Kirk over the weekend. Let me give me just a second, and then we'll get off of this. I promise, Deke. I promise.
Have you seen their recommendations for press secretary?
Yeah, we could talk about that too.
I still think mine trumps them all. What are you looking up?
It's the last salient kind of comment. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
It's a short little video clip. Here we go. Here. Oh. Man. Here we go. Listen here. This is Charlie Kirk, who basically led the look at little dude. Charlie Kirk led the charge for Trump over the last couple of years. This is him on a phone call with Glenn Beck just this week.
I don't know if you saw this, but Thune just came out yesterday and said, for his own good, Donald Trump should stay out of this Senate race. And I thought, well, okay, you just signed your own death warrant. But Cornyn and Thune, that is business as usual. If we don't have somebody who, do you think he'll put his thumb on the scale and come out for Rick Scott?
Let me tell you the Charlie Kirk plan, which is now going public. Thune or Cornyn is almost assuredly going to win. John Adams presided over the U.S. Senate as Senate Majority Leader 200 years ago as Vice President of the United States. So I think J.D. Vance should be President of the Senate and become Senate Majority Leader. And he would.
I am in love with that. I am in love with that. I said that just the other day. I didn't know if anybody, if that, it was possible with JD, but he would be fantastic.
Does he get, I got to give credit. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Does he get the access to the Senate GOP funds?
Huh? Well, yeah. So let me build out how this would work. So essentially, the Constitution says that the Vice President is the President of the Senate, highest ranking officer, and when he sits in the chair, that's the way it is. There is no question about it. This is, again, Senator Mike Lee came up with this. This is a 1 a.m. phone call from Senator Mike Lee last night, and he had me at hello. And again,
he has me at hello every time.
Yeah. Now, mind you, JD would have to really want it in the sense that it would be a ton of monotonous. He had to sit in the chair and listen to procedure stuff, and he'd have to go to the Senate lunches. However, he would basically be able to be the president of the Senate and set the entire tone of legislative agenda. Now, as far as the political stuff, that yes and no. I mean, he
Okay, so the idea here is this. It's pretty simple. Because the Constitution says that the Vice President is the President of the Senate. Now, that's usually used in tie-breaking scenarios, right, where he casts the last vote. But as long as he's there, he's President of the Senate. Now, if he goes there every day and he's President of the Senate every day, and MAGA can push the senators that rode to victory on Trump's coattails, if they can push the Senate to vote for J.D. Vance as Senate Majority Leader, then not only is he president of the Senate, he gets to set the legislative agenda, which means he gets to take Trump's legislative agenda and put it square on the desk of Senate. And that gets
good.
Can
he do that?
That gets it. Well, yeah, except the hurdle is this. We have to get the Senate Republicans to choose J.D. Vance as the Senate Majority Leader. Now, only some of them are Trump MAGA. And some of those Senate Republicans are Cornyn and Thune rhinos that are just trying to hunker down while America First marches over them, thinking that they can stab Trump in the back and take back America.
The Democrats are already probably freaking out because of the control that Republicans have.
Yes.
So this would be something that I would be like, we're stopping everything else and focusing on this right now. We've got to stop this. You see what I mean? If I was on the other side, I'd be like, nope, whatever y'all are doing, come over here. We're focusing on this.
Yeah, no, what you'll find is like if we try to narrowly push through J.D. Vance as Senate Majority Leader, somehow the Democrats would join the rhino Republicans and push in John Cornyn or something like that. So,
now, wait a minute before you move off this.
Yeah.
Are you moving off this topic? Don't.
Well, go ahead. What you got to say about it?
Well, Charlie Kirk there was we were talking about the press secretaries a second ago, and they floated a couple of names for press secretaries, and I think they were kind of humorous at the start, but the more you think about them, the more you're like, that might not be bad. The first name that was floated was Roseanne Barr as press secretary.
I love Roseanne Barr, and I think that that would be some fun press secretarian.
Let me tell you that the second one would be one that you'd want to watch all the time. Alex Jones as press secretary. That one would never fly.
They will never let that happen.
The one that I really love the most is a joke, but it's what I recommended on the show last week, and it's that you triple or quadruple KJP's salary and force her to talk about Donald Trump nice for 4 years. Like you
Why do we have to pay her more?
Because you want to make it so enticing for her that she'd be stupid to pass up.
Why don't we just do this? We know that you were lying constantly from the press secretary, so we can either prosecute you.
You could do that, but it would be more humiliating to give her a little bit more money and make her say nice things.
I don't see why she gets a raise.
Because she wouldn't take it any otherwise. And we sent $100 billion to freaking Ukraine. We could give her another couple of $100,000 to honestly force you to say nice things about Trump. I know it's a big joke. It's a big joke. I don't want to go. It's a big joke.
Why do we need a press secretary? Donald Trump can do Joe Rogan podcast.
I got your best press secretary right now, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk. Yeah.
Yeah, but he has a successful business.
I know. I'm just saying the people that I would pick, if I could put someone in there and they'd be like, yeah, I'll do it, it'd probably be Charlie Kirk. That man has more patience than any living human that I've ever seen. He is very smart. He's very articulate. He is very loving and kind. If you have never seen him talk to some of these people on these kids on these campuses and what these kids say to him and how he keeps his patience and still gives them love the whole time, it is amazing. He is.
You know what? You have a good point.
He's got a lot of patience.
You have a good point.
He does. He is a very smart guy. Ben Shapiro would be another one. Be a good press secretary. He's very smart.
I think Charlie Kirk would be better than Ben.
Yeah, I do too. I think Charlie Kirk would be the best pick.
Yeah. That would be really good. Except Charlie Kirk would have to put the entire Charlie Kirk show operation on pause for 4 years, for a couple of years. I don't think he'll do that.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think he should because he's a more powerful influence
absolutely
as the Charlie Kirk show, right? Okay.
I got a thing here about Kamala.
Okay, well, let me get this off the deck real quick because this is our title card. The guy on our title card is Thomas Homan. Thomas Homan is a former I think he ran the Border Patrol. He is now being nominated by Trump or signaled by Trump to be the next border czar. So we have 28 seconds of Homan here from a 60 Minutes interview that okay, I gotta put these things.
I got a clip of him too for you. It's real quick. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got 28 seconds here from Homan. Let me get this running. He was asked a couple questions, and he's going to be the next border czar.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course. What? Families can be deported together.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cold.
I don't care. I like him. Listen to this one.
Oh my God.
I like this guy, and I've seen 2 clips of him so far. 2 clips. Here's this clip. You gotta freaking hit everything.
Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair,
Mr. Homan,
you work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
Boom.
Wow.
Witness will suspend. Please respect the chair.
Boom. I don't know who Miss Jayapal is, but
she's I think she's one of the squad.
Drop.
Yeah. She's one of the squad. She's one of those, little 6-pack of extremist
boom
retards that have a
everybody's sharing that clip of him. Yeah. Good. Yeah, get them out of here. Families, don't give me that families crap. They've been separating these kids from these families and stuff. And where do these kids go? What happens to the kids? Let's ask Diddy and Oprah. Maybe they know what happened to the freaking kids. All right, let's go to Kamala here.
Trafficked, Yeah. Let's see what Kamala's got to say.
Y'all don't think we were talking about this over the weekend, and I'm like, you out of sight, out of mind. You don't think about how many kids are in foster care that don't have families that give craps about them every day. We just had a story in Louisville come up last week or the week before, and they're doing an investigation because all these foster kids have been sleeping in the DCBS offices for like 3 months because they don't have family, and all these office buildings are filled up with foster kids because that's where they live. And I'm like, this is not a new problem. This was going on 20 or 30 years ago, and people they out of sight, out of mind. You don't know how many kids are going, so you don't know how many kids go and disappear. You're thinking, oh, these number of kids don't disappear in the country because we don't hear about that many missing kids. You don't know how many foster kids are in the system. Only they do.
Right.
So, all right. Here's, I know Kamala lost, and everybody's kind of forgetting about her, but we're not going to. We still want to point out how they control you. Watch this.
All right.
The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for.
This is not the outcome we wanted or we worked so hard for.
Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition.
Last night, I congratulated Donald Trump and offered to work with him on behalf of our country.
Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background.
We've spent a year and a half bringing together millions of people from every corner of our country to say with one voice that we believe that the American dream is big enough for everyone.
To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay.
To the young people in particular, I hope you will hear this.
On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win.
This loss hurts, but please never stop believing that fighting for what's right is worth it.
So what I think happened was someone within the Kamala Harris campaign was flipping out because they didn't have a concession speech printed up. So they went to ChatGPT and they said, this is what I would type into ChatGPT. Could you please take Hillary Clinton's speech from when she was defeated, when she gave her concession speech from when she was defeated by Donald Trump, and rewrite it in the style of Kamala Harris speaking? I wonder if it would do that. I've got it open right here. Can you take?
Oh boy, Kamala Harris. It's soon. It's like 70 days until we don't ever have to say her name again. Right? I think so. Except as remember, she sucks. Don't hire her again.
Her style. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. Certainly, here's a concession speech in the style of Kamala Harris, conveying resilience, unity, and commitment to. Oh, I would have to refine that a little bit more. It's not. It's just giving me a speech.
No, you can't just do something right off the.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get you another one. Do you know who Scott Pressler is?
I think his last name for sure. Hero of the Republican registration. Scott Pressler, the persistence on X.
Scott Pressler at Scott Pressler. Yeah. He's the persistence. This is Scott. I think he is a gay man. Isn't he gay?
Oh yeah, he's gay.
Yeah,
and I thought Republican gives one shish about that. We don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. But Scott, he says, since I'm trending now, my name is Scott. I'm an Eagle Scout. My mom and dad share true love and been married for 44 years. Started off as a dog walker, organized a cleanup in Baltimore, launched a voter registration organization, helped deliver Pennsylvania for Trump. This guy, this guy is responsible for Pennsylvania turning to Trump, I believe.
Yep. He is. That's what
he signed up more people and more. Weren't they signing up Amish people? Like, they got thousands of Amish people to register to vote.
Biden-Harris campaign were doing a bunch of garbage with farming restrictions. Yeah, so they were restricting farming, and organic farmers were getting really like kind of raked over the coals, and the Amish are organic farmers. So the Amish were like,
"Yep,
oh my god!" So it was
the Amish are
pretty easy to
organic
get them to
farmers.
show up. Yeah. Yeah, no, Scott Press was amazing. You should be following him on X or have him on a
Press today. So check out his legs. Look at
dude, as a bald guy, he's got the best hair.
He's got hair for you and Dave.
And Dave and you, and he's great.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad, I honor you on the stage today, Captain Robert Pressler and my mom, Carol.
But that's Scott Pressler. He's awesome. I wanted to share his stuff.
Hey, this is fun. I got something else here. Check this out. You know AOC. AOC did a little back and forth with her her constituents, and she was like, "Hey, I just want to know. I know you guys voted. Some of you voted for me, and you voted for Trump, and I just want to find out why you voted for AOC in her district. Why did you vote for me and Donald Trump? I want to find out why." And so look at this. Check this out. People who support both Trump and me or voted Trump them tell us why. I know people that did it because of Gaza. Voted Trump and you, not genocide Harris. Dems need Bernie. But you also signified change. Trump signified change. I said lately, Trump sounds more like you. She was for more rights than the economy, and then she talked, and it was about she didn't have a plan. So AOC is getting a reality check from her own constituents about they voted for her because they're what Bronx, she reps the Bronx or something like that. It's real simple. Trump and you care for the working class. Voted Trump, but I like you and Bernie. I don't trust either party establishment politicians. I would have voted for you and Trump, but I am in California. I like your style though. Will you please share what you learned? I'm baffled by the split votes. I feel like Trump and you are both real. So AOC's has gotten some feedback that from her district about people that traditionally vote AOC and they supported Trump. So that's gonna have to be taken into account in the next round of political calculus. That is when these representatives come around again and start attacking the Trump legacy. Like her own voters voted Trump, and they're about to live the good life over the next, because we're if Trump's agenda gets through, things going to get better. Things are going to get cheaper because energy is going to drive all the prices down.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I thought you were done.
That's really it. Stuff's already starting to happen. Europe signed a deal. They're like, you know what? We'd rather buy gas from America than Russia.
Mexico's scared of them 25% tariffs too, that they automatic. Oh, we need to stop this huge caravan coming up to America. Goodness gracious.
Didn't you see?
Yeah. Have you seen everything that's been going on around the world? I mean, people are scared. And that's what I try to tell people for years, is talking about Biden and Harris. And I'm like, they're weak. They're weak. And if America shows weakness, the wolves attack. Even the wolf pack that's around you. If you're the wolf pack, the lion leader, his posse is always looking for a weakness in him. And as soon as he shows it, somebody else is going to take up. That's just nature. All right, I got something fun.
Okay.
I got something fun. And when I saw this, I
laughed. I'll be right back.
All right. When I saw this, I laughed and laughed and laughed because I thought JJW needs to hear this. This is wonderful. This is a clip from a comedian. It's just a comedy clip. We hardly ever do this. But this is a clip from a comedian from back in the day. You might not, the name might sound familiar to you, JJ, but the name is Rich Hall. Do you know the comedian Rich Hall? Let me show you. Let me bring up a picture of Rich Hall here. Rich Hall. He has played bit parts in a lot of 80s movies back in the day. The one movie that I'm thinking of is he was in One Crazy Summer. but he's played a lot of bit parts in movies, and he's a comedian. I'm trying to find a younger. Here he is, younger, and you might remember him from the 80s. Let's see. He was on this is from the Tonight Show. He was on the Tonight Show quite a bit. David Letterman and all that. Very funny comedian. I was trying to stall, hoping that JJ would come back. There you are. Jesus Christ. I'm like, okay, let's look at all these pictures. Unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
That's okay.
Sorry.
You're all right. Do you see? Do you remember this guy?
I see him, but I'd have to see him in a movie that I would know. Oh, that kind of looks familiar.
Yeah. You know him from. He was big in the '80s with the '80s movies. Okay, so
all
this
right, so
is.
What about Rich Hall?
So I was just on Facebook over the weekend, and this came up, and I laughed at this, and I thought JJ needs to hear this.
Seen a Tom Cruise film like he couldn't figure out the plot in about 18 seconds. Oh, Christ. He's a cocktail maker. A pretty good cocktail maker, too. Till he has a crisis of confidence and can't make cocktails anymore. Then he meets a good-looking woman who talks him into being a better cocktail maker. A riveting piece of cinema that was. Then he's a race car driver. Pretty good race car driver, too. Till he has a crisis of confidence. Can't race cars anymore. Then he meets a good-looking woman who talks him into being a better race car driver. Then he's a jet pilot. So you're starting to see a pattern emerge here. Pretty good jet pilot? Yes, he was. So he had a crisis of confidence, couldn't fly jets anymore. Then I believe he met a good-looking woman who talked him into being a better jet pilot. Could be a Scrabble player for all I care. Pretty good Scrabble player.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Oh,
Hey, I mean,
that.
I've never that guy just dismantled Tom Cruise's Hollywood career in like 3 sentences.
Pretty good cocktail maker. Oh yeah, that's true. That was a terrible
That's
movie.
good. That's excellent. For those of you that are just tuning in, Deacon does not like Tom Cruise.
No, he's the worst actor in the history of actors.
He's a pretty good actor.
All of his movies are terrible. He's not a pretty good actor. He is a terrible actor. Go back and seriously go
because
back.
Of you, he's
and
gonna
watch
he's
Top
gonna lose
Gun.
confidence if you keep talking like this.
I don't care. He is a terrible actor. I don't. People
you
can
have to
argue
watch-
with me all they want.
You have to watch his time travel movie. Kill, Death, Repeat, or whatever it is. I forget what it's called.
No,
They
thank you.
give it. Tomorrow Never Dies. No, that's
Yes,
not it.
He's a pretty good time traveler, and he has a confidence of faith.
No, he gets.
It's a really
in fact,
good looking woman.
You would probably like certain parts of this movie because he gets killed
probably
like
would.
a lot of times.
Oh,
Like
really?
he gets
Tom
killed like
Cruise gets
80,
killed in
90
this
times.
movie?
Yeah.
Oh, then
Again
I'm
and
gonna
again and again and again and again and again and
Yes.
again and again. He keeps
Okay.
getting killed.
Sweet. That sounds like a good movie.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done. I've got
What
a
else?
joke, and that's it.
Oh yeah. Are we at the end already? Oh my God, it's 8:53. Probably doesn't help that we start 10 minutes late because Windows sucks balls.
Windows.
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened. I will say this. Where's my contraption? This thing right here was giving me hell last week. This is a USB-C monitor dealy do, and this is what I've been doing the show on for the last year or two. And it just decided, like, hey, you can have one monitor, which made life real fucking hard. So
I got a little $10 piece from Amazon.
Yeah, so I replaced. Well, I replaced it with this cool dock thing. So I don't know if I don't know. There's no
You got
way
a lot
for me
more
to show you
crap
what's
plugged
going on
in than
here.
I do.
Well, yeah,
I've got
this
2
and that and this there.
computers.
That's true. You
I've
got
got
two.
2 different computers and 3 monitors. So
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
you also
well,
sound good and know what you're doing.
everybody watching the show, we appreciate you watching. This is just a continued conversation that JJ and I started about a decade ago.
No, hold on. For real, wasn't it 2018?
Yeah, it's been like
It actually is. No, 20 was it 2018? Really? We started really talking in 2018. I think it was. So that's for 6 years. For real, 6 years. Not exaggerating.
the show or the Contest of Champions podcast.
Just well, I mean, we talked because of the Contest of Champions
Yeah.
podcast, but since then,
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've been
I
doing
think
the
that was
show for like 2.5 years, I think.
yeah, this one. For sure.
This is just a continued conversation. One of the very first comments that JJ and I got was one of the very first comments was, "You two, this should have really been a phone call."
Yeah,
what it was. This should have really been a phone call, and we just laughed and laughed. That was the greatest thing ever.
True.
And so this is just our continued conversation that we
know,
do
it's
on the internet.
I think it's important for you to, and not you, me, try to learn new things.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you, I think I've told you this story before, but I haven't told everybody. Let me tell you again. Back when I was in the Army 20 years ago, I got, it wasn't court-martialed. It was just company punishment for being on the wrong side of the country and drunk, and I shouldn't have been. So I got into a lot of trouble, and because of that,
were you
I got sent
up north?
No.
Oh,
No, I was supposed to be in Wonju, Korea, and I was in Seoul, and I was drunk. So they were like, "What are you doing on that part of the country?" And I was like, "I was having fun." So I got in trouble. So I got company punishment, and I had to do all kinds of stuff. But one of the things I got, part of my sentence or my punishment, was that I had to travel to Seoul every week for counseling. I had to go to like a shrink, a part of group therapy for being a degenerate, not degenerate, but basically I was in trouble.
You broke the rules, and you
broke the rules. I had to do work. I had to do extra work, and I had to go to counseling. So when I was in counseling, we did a bunch of different kind of group session things. Like there was visualizing mind palace type stuff, which was kind of interesting and whatever. But the thing I remember most is this. This is a lesson I've carried with me my entire life, and it has always been true. Maybe not yours, but my happiness. My happiness runs on a cycle system. And the cycle system works like this. When you are learning something new, you're terrible at it, but you're learning something new. And as you get better at that, whatever that new thing is, you increase in skill, and you increase and you stay, and you're satisfied that you're learning. And as you master a skill, you're very happy that you're learning a skill and mastering a skill, and it's become amazing. Then it becomes like a repeatable rote thing that's no longer a lot of effort because you've learned it so well, and then it gets boring. Now, a lot of people in their lives, they learn a job, a skill, or whatever, and they do that, and they end up on the backside of that learning curve, and they stay there forever. They never learn anything new, and they're unhappy people. On the other hand, someone like me who's constantly learning something new, even if I'm not great at it, it doesn't matter. I find something new and I learn. I have learned different languages. I learned to program. I constantly am trying to find something new that is stimulating, interesting to me. And that's how you stay on the front side of the learning curve. And you're never unhappy.
I feel like I need to learn something new every day. There's some days when I just want to veg out and watch something and not, worry about, but I want to learn. And I've got this, I've got 2 or 3 apps here on the phone that do stuff. And then I try to look for how I can do a free educational courses online while I'm here. And I've done several things, websites. And the one that I'm working on now is, and I used to know C++, pretty good.
Yeah.
And back in the day when, that was everything. And now I'm trying to learn CSS, and I'm trying to learn coding better.
Yeah.
Every day, because
I think it's so valuable.
I've got 5
books
written that I can't get published because of the fonts. And I am trying to do it myself to where I can learn how to go in and change and do this.
Right.
And it's reformatting all my books. So I'm having to go and reformat the pages and move the images and stuff like that. So it's become a pain, but I did that because I wanted to publish these books, and I did not know how to do it.
Yeah. So the tool you're using kind of embeds these fonts, and then you can't export them to a publishing service.
Ashley just gave me this, we were talking the other day, and she was like, you need to do this. I was kind of getting down on myself about this and the other thing and whatnot. And she was like, you need to do this. She was trying to give me a little pep talk. You need to do this. And if you don't know, why don't you just do this and blah, blah, blah. And she said the same thing the other day. It's really easy to say. It's so hard to do sometimes. Do as I say, not as I do.
But then you want the most amazing part is like when you hit that breakthrough moment where you actually understand, where you're like struggling to figure out like this does this, but it doesn't make it. I don't know how it's. And then you get to the moment you're like, aha, oh, this is how it works. So like in CSS, like you're defining classes and you're assigning classes to these little things, and you're like, oh, this is how. Oh,
it'll all click. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
when
like
that happens,
so with my audio editing program, when the other DJs will watch me do something or something, they're like, how are you doing that so fast? And what do you know? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I have been using this program for 25 years. I know I got tricks, man. I know what to do. I've made so many mistakes in my life on this program that I know.
Yeah.
And that's why I used to tell the DJs, the once you learn the most is in your mistakes. It's in that moment that the CD don't do this anymore. But when the CD starts skipping on the air and you have to stop it, and you in that 10 seconds of freak out, that's when you learn the most afterwards. You're not learning. I'm not learning anything here, doing everything right on exactly right. I'm learning when I make a mistake and realize what that mistake was and correct that mistake. That's learning.
Well, like learning is like 90% failure.
Yes.
That's how you learn.
And I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy as much as we were taught in school, but he did have a great quote. Thomas Edison said, I didn't invent the light bulb. I invented 268 ways to not invent the light bulb.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the number is, but it was something like that. 200 and something ways to not invent the light bulb is what he said.
That's the way you win. That's the way you learn.
That's the way you need to look at things. Yeah. That's your internet dad advice for today.
Yeah, that's right. Keep learning stuff on your own and don't ask people what to learn. Go learn it. Go figure it out. All right, joke time. Let's do jokes.
There's too many YouTube.
Did you hear one about the? Did you hear the joke about the giant dill?
The giant.
Did you hear the joke that I messed up just now?
I did. It was hilarious. You might need to stop right there. Quit on a high note.
Let me try it. Let me try this again.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Well, the font is so small. I don't know what the hell. Why is it so small? I can't even read this shit. You know what?
You're gonna have to.
I'm sorry, America.
No, you got to tell that joke now. I want to know what the giant deal.
Oh yeah, I should. Yeah, well, that's. I
want to know what the end of that word is.
I'm doing it. A termite walks into a bar. And asks, "Is the bartender here?"
What?
That doesn't make sense.
Okay, seriously, you need to prepare.
If I tell enough bad ones, then you'll forget that I already told you the punchline of the pickle joke.
No. Well, that was the punchline.
Yeah, I messed it up. This is terrible.
Okay, do you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you one for you?
Please cleanse the palate.
Okay. Most puns make me feel numb, but math puns make me feel number. Number.
I need to learn how to read. Thanks, do good. Thank you. I no, don't think that I missed your subtle kickback to learning things all the time. That's a nice callback. Appreciate that.
That's why I love do good.
All right. A guy told me today he did not know what cloning is.
Yeah.
I told him that makes two of us.
That's actually pretty good. All right, I got one more.
Okay. All
This is
right.
a short one. To be frank, I would have to change my name. So you have to add the inflection to that one to get that one to sell. To be frank, I have to change my name.
Yeah. Can you do one more?
Can I do one more?
Yeah. I like the clone joke. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was a good one. I have one here. It says, I'd like to thank the Amish and the horses that they rode in on, but that's not really a joke. Okay. All right. Oh, I told that one the other day. I once knew a man who died eating in an Italian restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he passed away.
Sorry.
Sorry.
All right. I got one more. Last one. What do you call a magician that has lost his magic?
Ian.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back We'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Maybe
tomorrow.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Ask for a comment, he said no. Watch now, the internet dad show. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Inspire with us tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
So, hi
Hold on,
everybody.
hold on. Wait.
We're still here.
Rumble only.